What's up everybody, it's Cammy 3 Valve, and today we're going to talk about why the 3 Valve gets so much hate. Okay, so just jumping straight into this video about why the 3 Valve gets so much hate, we're going to start right here, and it's the engine. Now, the thing about the engine with this car is that it's between the 2 Valve and the 4 Valve. In 2011 when they came out with the 5.0 engine, and then they still had the 2 Valve engine from the 9904, a couple previous years before that as well. But why does it get so much hate? It's kind of an engine that you can't really get a lot of power out of without boosting. I know a lot of guys claim the bolt-ons and cams and stuff like that, and you go NA and you can do really well. And we're not saying that the 3 Valve can't be faster, it doesn't hold any potential, because it does. But the only thing is though, is it takes a whole lot more power and money for this car than it would just a regular 5.0. Most times, full bolts on 3 Valves can't hang on with a tuned intake 5.0, and that's just the reality of it. Now, people are going to argue constantly in the comments in this video, and they're going to tell me that the 3 Valves are great cars, and they are, they really are. But this video isn't just because of my opinion, because I don't think anything's about my car like I'm talking about today, because I really do love my car, as you can see from the other videos, but we're just going to merely talk about why the 3 Valve is looked down upon in the car community. You see it almost as the joking Mustang. You know, you hear 3 Valve and you're like, you know, that's kind of what I'm going for today. So we're going to start with the fact that it's a 4.6, so it's obviously smaller than the 5.0, and it has the 3 Valves instead of the 4 Valves. And a lot of people look down on the 3 Valve because it only makes a mere 280 horsepower out of the factory. And they say online 300, but it's actually more like 270, 280. The hard thing about the 3 Valves, the good thing they got going for them, obviously, is the sound of the exhaust. So you can't complain too much there. It's a great sounding engine, but the fact is, like I said, a lot of those bolt-ons that you're going to buy for the car aren't going to pull that much power. You're going to need cams, boost, anything really to kind of even touch 380 in the 400 area. So most of the time with the bolt-ons, you could spend $2,000, $3,000 on bolt-ons, and you're still probably only going to jump up to about 330, 340 most of the time, and that's basically what my car is at. Other than that, if you just take a look, the car itself, the body is light, but yeah, I'm going to cut it there. I guess I'm going to start talking about something. And then, jumping into the 3 Valve's interior, so we're going to talk morely about the 05 to 09 here, obviously. But, you know, the 3 Valve gets a lot of hate. It also comes with the 5-speed transmission, which you can see here. So yeah, it is a 5-speed, and like I said, the 2011, 2014, when they start going that newer gen with the Coyote, they went to the 6-speed. And the 5-speed isn't necessarily frowned upon, but the transmission in these cars are kind of weak. So, you know, I don't know too many specifications on the transmission about how it is, but I know that a 5-speed is another reason that the 3 Valve gets kind of looked down upon in the car community. So, you know, I think that the 5-speed, you know, it doesn't hold as much potential as maybe the 6-speed will. So, you know, we're going to go ahead and say that the 5-speed in this car, you know, is, with it being a manual, you know, it's a good thing. I'm not really sure about the automatic transmission, but I know in the manual, you know, the 5-speed, you know, it is what it is kind of thing. The next thing, too, we could talk about interior for the 3 Valve. And talking the interior here for the 05 to 09 Mustangs. Pardon me. Yeah, so a lot of the plastic pieces in here make the car kind of somewhat not liked because it's so plastic. And there's just some parts of the car, I mean, this is a premium, so it's a little bit more up the pace, I guess, on the modern touch. But unfortunately, there are a lot of plastic pieces, and some of these inserts and stuff constantly fall off. I've had to super glue mine, and I got them back into place for now. But honestly, they could have done a lot better job in the interior, and I think that the interior on some of these cars could be looked at as kind of like very plastic and kind of, you know, you get the leather seats, and the leather gets really hot, so, you know. But, you know, the interior is what it is. I mean, not too many people buy a car for the interior, so luckily enough, the 3 Valve is, I think, is fine. It's up to par for what you need. Other than that, talking about more stuff about the 3 Valve, just kind of the fact that it just kind of is the in-between car. You know, going back to the engine, we'll say transmission, it sets itself apart in some ways with the exhaust, because I know a lot of guys like the 3-valve cam sound, the good thump and everything, and it's kind of hard to get that out of, some of the newer Coyotes without, obviously ghost cams and whatnot. But the car kind of falls in between, it falls in between the 5.0 or like the Coyote, it falls between the Coyote and the 2-valve. And be honest with you, the 2-valves were light. 2-valves really hard to make power out of as well, but they were light enough where, you could kind of get away with some leeway, depending on weight ratio and stuff like that. But, it was kind of Ford's attempt at, and they got the new body style right, and it's a great looking car. But they could have definitely went with the 5.0 in these cars, and I think it would have been a fantastic move. But obviously, it's not that 400 horsepower car to the factory like the 5.0 is. So, now that everybody's got their hands on Coyotes, these cars are just looked down upon, which is kind of saddening in some aspects, which kind of sucks for a lot of guys that have 3-valves. But, just personally for me, I don't get offended by any of it. I just thought I'd make this video because, there is a lot of hate out there. You drive a 3-valve, all that kind of sucks. You're not making any power or anything like that. But, and like I said, this doesn't go out to the turbo, pro charge 3-valves, everybody's going to argue with me about this. Like I said, I made this video purely for the fact of everything that I've seen in the car community and how it's hated, and there's a lot of engine specifications that I'm not going to sit here and go over with you guys, but I just kind of want to give you guys an idea of what kind of people think about 3-valves nowadays when you're talking Mustangs. So, like I said, great looking car, just sometimes doesn't hit the mark where the power needs to be. It's just not as good as a platform, even nowadays, that the Coyote has opened to so many people. And now that everybody's got those Coyotes, it's very easy to make power out of them because, you could throw a tune and intake and still end up faster than most bolt-on 3-valves, like full bolt-on 3-valves. And, the platform there, they just expressed that Coyote, and then, Gen 1 Coyote, Gen 2 Coyote, and they just kept stepping it up. And I wish they really could have saw, a bigger engine in this car with more potential. And obviously you have, the supercharged Shelbys and whatnot at, 07 to 08. But, like I said, no hate against the 3-valve personally, because obviously it's the car I have. But, when you're talking, just why, if you're looking for a reason why they're hated, it's because it's kind of just a middle child, and, some people frown upon them because, they just see a lot of people that have these, because they are a relatively cheaper model, with the 4.6 3-valve in it, and, a lot of love out there for them, body style wise, and I'm just going to end up repeating myself if I go on from here. So I'm just going to stop the video here because I think I got my point across of why I made the video. And like I said, I'm just going to keep repeating the same things. If I do it, I might just say it a little differently. So I'm just going to stick with what I got so far. Comment and let me know what you guys think. And like I said, if you're watching this video, don't come in the comments and tell me I'm stupid for hating on the 3-valve, because this is not my opinion. This is what I've seen, over my couple of years in the car community. And I'm sure there's some other aspects why people don't like them, maybe the stock lighting, the headlights and taillights, kind of pretty boring aspects of the car. But, like I said, this is their retro, coming back from that 65 design. So I think it hits a lot of good points, and I think there's a lot more positives to this car than the negatives. But nowadays, with the Coyote being out there, those negatives just get thrown over top of the positives, and now people don't get to enjoy these cars as much anymore because, they're just being so judged. So that's my video today. I just want to thank you guys for stopping in and watching. I know this one might be a little bit shorter than most of them, but I just want to get a video out to you guys. I know I put this on my Instagram, and people were wanting this video over the other video that I have planned, which is why I stance to Mustang. So that'll be next. So like I said, thanks for stopping by and watching the video. It means a lot. Every view and every like, they always count. So I appreciate it. So thank you. You guys have a nice day.